Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to be joined again by my friend and business partner, Mr. Michael Vincent. We do these sustainability topics every week, and we work together on fuel reduction, emissions reduction, and plastics waste reduction, all with net savings. So it's a lot of fun.
You know, Andy, if AI is the new West, no, just kidding. I can't pull off Matthew McConaughey. I can't do it. I am looking pretty good today. I have to admit, but I'm not pulling off.
Not McConaughey level yet.
No, not going to get there. Not going to get there.
Me neither, brother.
What's going on today, man? I'm ready to save the world, dude, with and help people save money and actually make money and go green at the same time. Help them get more bids, win more RFQs, all that kind of fun stuff, right?
Absolutely. You know, I've been talking to people in fleets and about their RFPs, and I've asked, you know, are you seeing more of this in your RFPs? Explain what you're doing for green initiatives, and not only just explain, but the data. Give me some data, and I'm getting yes every time.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're more prevalent everywhere, and then it's not, are you a green company? It's like, give me data showing that you're doing things to help the environment. So it's not just saying, hey, we're green.
Yeah. No, the days of saying, well, they told me they were, those are over. It doesn't, that doesn't matter. You know, and in trucking, that's been that way for a long, long time, especially if you're a broker, right? You know, you can even get the credentials of a carrier, and if they screw up, you're still on the hook type of stuff. You know, it's crazy, but, and we're not going to get into that whole thing. We can argue about that or talk about that for, you know, years.
Right.
But this is basically the same thing. Your scope 1 is somebody's scope 3, and somebody's scope 3 is your scope 1, and so on and so forth, right? And so you've got to be there. And right now, it's so serious that, you know, the greenwashing, whether you're greenwashing, we went through it. What is greenwashing, right? It's overstating your sustainability efforts, right? I mean, it's pretty basic is what it is. And it's all left up to interpretation of whoever wants to sue you and then the jury, basically. Right.
Yeah. It comes down to that. It comes down to proof and a jury at some point, or proof and a judge, one of the two.
Yeah. And you just saying, hey, well, they checked this box off on here. That's not due diligence, my friend. It's not going to cut the mustard.
Right. Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, one of my friends got this result. They had this test done.
Yeah.
Okay? They're freaking out. Like, I want to know the result. I want to know the result. They get the result back. And then it's like,
they didn't want to know that result.
No, it was bad because the nurse ticked the wrong box and it said it was a positive result. So then they go online to check the system and it said, no, it was negative. So then this person is calling around going, which is it? And they go, oh no, I'm sorry. The nurse made a mistake on that particular one. So they ticked the wrong box. So if you're good. You're all good. All good.
Wow.
Ouch.
Wow. Yeah, that's a little scary.
Oh,
that would freak me out, right?
It would me too. It would me too. Like,
is that what they call by, you know, some positive, some negative? I mean, you know,
right. It's always been weird to me, like in the medical field, you know, when growing up in school, positive was going up, negative was going down. Right. But not with that. Are you positive for the flu? Yep, you're positive. That's not good.
No, it's not good.
That's not a good thing.
I mean, see, it goes when you start getting into the sciences, that's how it is, right? Because you're testing to see if you have it. And if you don't have it, that's a negative test result. It's positive for you, but it's a negative test result.
Exactly.
It's just like, Andy, you know, your computer science or your program, your software engineers, your computer software engineer department, right? If they run a test on something, there's never a negative test. It's always positive because they've learned something. Right. So tests never fail as long as they learn something. And even if they don't work, they didn't learn something, it's still positive because they learned that their testing procedures are wrong and they need to change them. So it's always a positive outcome too.
I'm going to argue that the store-bought COVID tests are not very reliable.
No,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I do not. I've had too many friends plus myself that had all the symptoms, right? Sometimes it comes down to look at the symptoms. If you've got a headache, you're tired and you're stuffy for about 5 days and you're super, super tired, most likely that's probably a COVID strain, I would imagine. But, I did one. I actually did 2 in a row, negative, which means that it was good for me, positive for me. But
yeah,
I don't believe it, honestly. I was like, nah, that's not.
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, here's the thing. I've had my boosters. I've had all the shot. I've taken all the vaccine. I've done all that kind of stuff. I'm not anti any of that kind of stuff. I've done it. I've also had COVID 3 times. I've also had COVID 3 times where it said I didn't have COVID 3 times. And here's the thing: all 6 of those times, it didn't matter if I had that or the common cold. It did nothing for me. What does it matter? At this point, what does it matter?
Right. At this point, you're just trying to get better.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got the flu or you've got some other virus, you don't go to work and infect people. Mm-hmm. It's not like, well, you only got the flu, so go ahead and kiss people and just go out and cough on people. But you got COVID. Don't do that.
Right. Oh, no, that's weird. There's all kind of weirdness around that stuff. But, speaking of measurements, like that segue,
you are getting so good. It's scary how good you're getting at this.
It's weird.
Did you have a segue, by the way?
This was it. I just walked right into that segue right there.
I meant one of those, really.
Those. No, I've ridden on one, though. Those are fun.
Okay. Never have. I never have.
Oh, man, you're missing out. You got to get on a segue somewhere. Yeah. For the segue into our topic for today, we got this article that you sent to me, Michael. It's from MIT Technology Review. MIT.
Couple smart people there. There's 1 or 2 smart people over at that place at MIT.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. The big headline was fossil fuel emissions are over 1 million times greater than carbon removal efforts.
Yeah. And you like the picture at the top of that? It looks like Operation Vacuum Suck from Spaceballs. They got a vacuum cleaner sucking the clouds up, right? Remember
that? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. They've got a vacuum and trying to suck all the pollution out of the air.
Yeah. So, but this just came out, right? This report just came out. It's the Global Carbon Budget Report. And there's a couple great quotes in there from Mike O'Sullivan, who's a lecturer at University of Exeter and one of the authors. But it just came out, and in case you don't know it, COP 28 is happening in Dubai. It's the conference for pollution, for emissions, climate change. So they're in Dubai, and it's big oil is involved, and that was one of the debates. But the big oil, and we talked about that, Andy. Big oil needs to be involved as we transition to greener fuels, right? Because they have their transition energy. We can't just stop it. Just like in my other interests and your other interests in plastic waste, you just can't stop plastics. We've got to transition to better, more responsible uses of it. Same with fossil fuels, right? Better ways to do that. But it came out, and as they're trying to figure out how to reduce emissions, et cetera, emissions, lo and behold, are up. We're doing a terrible job in the world. They just keep increasing. Went up 1.1%. You don't think that's a lot? We're talking about 36 billion gigatons, dude.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And because, you're talking about like a gigaton. If people don't remember, a gigaton, 36.8 billion metric tons, not gigatons. A gigaton is a billion tons. So 36.8 gigatons, and 1 gigaton is 11,000 fully loaded aircraft carriers. That's how much 1 gigaton is. 11,000 of those, and it went up 1.1% in 2023. That's what we're on track to. So, unless we do a complete about face in the next 23 days, we're up 1.1% this year over last year. Getting worse. Getting worse.
Yep. And it was interesting. I saw a couple of things here. Europe's emissions actually dropped around 7%, it says, from the year before, while the US saw a 3% reduction. But overall, coal, oil, and natural gas emissions are still on the rise. And, it says nations, including India and China, are still seeing emissions growth.
Yeah, no, they are. No, I mean, and one of the things, you push, they're the manufacturers of the world, basically, right? And India's taken all of our friend shoring stuff is moving over to that type of area.
Right.
So they're just going to go up. It's that convenient, don't look at it, they're filthy, we don't have to worry about it because we're clean type of thing. But there's other reasons why people argue about geopolitical and all kinds of, national security reasons why China is like, hey, you guys be green, we're going to pump coal and kick your butt in manufacturing and economics. But, that's not the point of this. The other is that 3%, what was it, 3% reduction in the US was not powered by the transportation industry. Because I looked it up, and according to Forbes, 8% increase in emissions from transportation in the United States. 8%.
Yep. And we've got something that can help companies save money while going greener and reducing their emissions. They reduce the fuel consumption. Of course, that reduces the amount of greenhouse gas in the first place, but also at combustion, it reduces emissions. So you're not trying to capture it. This article talks about carbon capture, and some people probably don't know what that means. Basically, with carbon capture, you're taking dirty air, you're putting it through a really, really hot process with chemicals and trying to burn off as much of the remainder or you're capturing it into a device, and then you're going to use that for something somewhere. So there's different ones for carbon capture.
There's different ones. There's scrubbers that can be on exhaust systems, right? Yep. Those are carbon capture. Freightvana does a great job planting one tree for every load, right? That's carbon capture as well. And it's a great effort. Yep. And that does it. A lot of people don't understand that the ocean captures and seagrass captures like more CO2 than all the forests in the world combined. People don't understand that.
I never knew that until you told me.
Yeah, it's crazy. But even that, all those efforts, 11,000 metric tons a year.
Right.
It's like nothing. It's nothing. So you take 36.8 billion and take away 11,000, and you've got 36.8 billion still. You know what I'm saying?
Right. When it says over 1 million times the difference, we're not even close. Not even close. Not even close.
Not
It'd
even
be like saying, you know what? I'm going to go up to bat today. I'm going to hit a home run. Okay. I'm going to hit a home run, but the fence is only 4 feet in front of you. I can do that. I can hit a home run. If the fence is 4 feet away, I can hit a home run.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the real fence is way, way, way out there.
Yeah.
It's like we have these. It's funny to me because I see these articles celebrating this and celebrating that. And it's like, we're not even close to being where we need to be, honestly.
And I'm all for celebrating the small victories, right? The problem with it is that we're a society of headline porn.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
And people are going to say, oh, wow, they're doing this. Great. Oh, electric EVs are coming. I'm good. No, waiting for somebody to electrify your powertrain is not an initiative.
I read an article, therefore I am green.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Hey, Daimler's working on it. I'm green.
Hey, we're green over here.
Huh?
We are queued up.
David King over there at Cummins has got an engine that's green, so therefore I'm green. No, that's not how it works. You're not green yet. Not how it happens.
Man. Yeah.
And this Michael Sullivan, he said we were drastically off course, right? But then he comes back, and obviously we're drastically off course. If our goal is to reduce carbon emissions and it's going up, that's off course, right? I mean, it's kind of off course as Pittsburgh's offense looked last night. But I don't know if you watched it again.
I did not. No, I didn't catch
You're not supposed to be 7-6 and lose to a 2-10 team.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At home.
At home.
That's not supposed to happen in early December. But he says, 11,000 metric tons of carbon were sequestered or captured in 2023, right? A million times short of where we need to be.
Right.
That means that in total emissions from fossil fuels were millions of times higher. The ratio means it's infeasible, he said, for carbon removable technologies to balance out emissions, at least anytime soon. Right? That's for sure. And he says we cannot afford to offset our way out of this problem.
Okay, I think I have a solution.
Can't. All right, give it to me. What is it?
Have you seen Christmas Vacation?
What? Am I dead? Am I not alive? Yes, of course. I've seen it like 4 times this season already.
Okay. Clark Griswold came up with an additive. It was a
non-nutritive cereal varnish.
Yes. What we need to do is cover our highways with that. And then we're going to have these slingshots that shoot the truck down the road. Okay. And then we're going to have these like balloons and stopping mechanisms. And you're going to go 1,000 miles on.
That was his buddy's new frying grease or nonstick grease that he put on the bottom of his sled. Yeah.
Right. And he went 150 miles an hour. Right.
He was going so fast, it actually lit the snow on fire. If you watch the movie.
I love that movie this time of year. My gosh, it is so funny. Yeah, Clark gets on a sled and he slides about 200 miles an hour, lights the snow on fire. That's my idea. I don't know if it's got any legs or not.
Then he crashes into a Walmart or something.
Yes, he does. He goes all the way across the parking lot, still going, crashes through the front of the store. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a real nice surprise, Andy. A real nice surprise. I'll tell you what's a real nice surprise and what you can get me for Christmas. Get me something real nice like cyberfuels. That's what I want.
Oh, okay. You don't want a big pack of dog. You want one of those big things of dog food. That's not what you're looking for.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I love where if you notice in there, it happens so quick. Where Clark grabs the light bulbs, puts it down there, and he sets that old Roy right on top. Smashes all the light bulbs.
I do remember that. Oh my gosh! I want to get you something real nice, Clark. Something real nice. Oh, cousin Eddie! Wow, what a movie that is! That is so funny. Yeah. Well,
I mean, but O'Sullivan's point, and he's right, is that we have to do something other than trying to clean up the mess. And you and I've talked about this before, and I always use the analogy of a bathtub, right? You don't walk into your bathroom, the bathtub is overflowing, and you go grab a cup and start bailing. You turn off the valve,
right?
Right.
First things first.
And maybe if you got 2 people, one turns off the valve, the other goes and gets the mop and starts cleaning stuff up, right? Yeah. And right now we're running around with a Kleenex while the bathtub's overflowing.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. Yeah. I love it, but we've done these studies on diesel exhaust fluid reduction, right?
Yeah.
And it's in the neighborhood of 20 to 22% reduction of the bad air coming off the engines. So I'm just excited about what does that mean for maritime, for rail, for mining, for construction, for drilling, for fracking. All of those industries that need help, but they can't afford to go broke. So it's like we have this solution that can help them save money while going greener. I love it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when you're talking about, it's at combustion.
Right.
So it doesn't improve your DEF. Completely. It doesn't improve your DEF effect. It means you don't have to use as much.
That's right. Less filters, less scrubbing of the air, less diesel exhaust fluid. That it's a cleaner burn. It burns.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you've got a cleaner burn, you're eliminating one of the causes of maintenance issues, and performance issues. Are you not?
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
So how does it do it? Does it just suck all the lubricity out of the engine, or do you increase lubricity, much like your personality?
I'm not lubricious, not by the King's English version of the word, But yeah, cyber fuels adds lubricity and it removes carbon from the engine. But then on an ongoing basis, yeah, that's awesome. But the burn of the fuel is cleaner. It burns the fuel more completely, is what it does. Burns the fuel.
And I mean, and this is what we're talking about, right? Is you're at COP 28. You've got, it's at big oil. It's at Dubai. I mean, the heart of big oil, right?
Yeah.
And you've got like the big three from OPEC are in the meetings, right? Helping with this stuff. And they're the transition, and they are, right? And we're going to transition to cleaner stuff. But diesel and fossil fuels are going to be around for a long, long time.
Yeah. Yep. Well, if you like using a cell phone, petrochemicals aren't going away anytime soon.
100%. 100%. My goal is to help the environment and make it a business positive experience to do this, because I believe it can be done. And one of those is cyber fuels. The other is through OPT with the plastics, right? Mm-hmm. And they both come together with fossil fuels. They come with, I mean, they're all coming out of the same thing, right?
Right.
And it's not going away, and you can't get rid of plastics immediately. And for the foreseeable future, and neither can you with fossil fuels and diesel and gasoline, et cetera. You can't. It's not going to happen for quite some time. And so we've got to figure out a better way than just holding our vacuum cleaners out the window and trying to suck carbon out of the air. It's not going to work. It's not going to make it happen.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
No.
So, well, that'll we'll talk about this, I'm sure, again, but that'll put a cap on this show. I'm sure we will. That'll put a cap on this show. Thanks for joining or listening, everyone. And we will see you again on the next one. Take care.
Peace and love, everybody.